but we are into the bans and the picks. First two coming out here, Shen and Zed.
Okay, so Shen, talk to teams this and they say, why do you let Shen through so often? Because he's always annoying, his global presence is really frustrating to deal with, but they say he's a pick that you can control. Like, you know what he's going to do, you can control it and stop it from happening, but obviously, as we saw earlier, most teams necessarily can't do that.
So Jay's taken out there, and really quick bans here from SK. That just shows me that they've got a very firm plan coming into this game about what they don't want Fnatic picking. Kha'Zix was banned out there, of course, with that Zed as well. Obviously, that one aimed both at XPK and Soaz can play a mean Kha'Zix as well.
Yeah, I definitely have to give it to that. I mean, we saw it was a trilogy, or I don't even know what it was ended up calling when we saw the assassin combo that we saw Cassin as Zed, but Kha'Zix provides the same thing, so why not take that away if you're not going to necessarily play him? But we do have obviously the other bans coming in.
Yeah, Evelyn was the final ban for Fnatic, and there is the Twisted Fate from SK Gaming. They're just saying, no, you know what, let's just get rid of him from this game. Even if we have the chance to have him, we don't want him.
Yeah, so I want to see what the first pick is going to be, because obviously we have junglers open. You talked earlier about Varus maybe being picked up right away because both AD carriers are very strong with them. I would have to say, in my opinion, it would most likely be a jungler. Oof, I think I said that because I lost it right to that. But most likely jungler, just because, to me, both teams really revolve around their jungler. Like, you have Hercubot really providing pressure in the mid lane for Ocelot, as well as bot lane, even ganking top lane. Same thing with Cyanide, who, as we know personally, is one of the best stealers with the smite, and with Nunu, if he takes that consume in Europe.
Yeah, and funnily enough, Sag has the assists out of all players in the spring split and the playoffs combined. So he is bringing in the kills for his team, that's for sure. It's going to be a Caitlyn first pick here for SK Gaming, and that Nautilus will stand as well.
It's really interesting to see so many Caitlyns picked up right now, because we're on the 3.7 patch, so her attack speed, her base attack speed was reduced. Her level 3.4, so you can't proc your headshot off of turrets anymore. So her harass early on, or actually her early game in general, just kind of went down a little bit. They kind of toned it down, but her late game is even better just because of the extra attack speed you get. But already off the bat, it kind of shows you that SK, they kind of want to go for more of a late game composition with that Nautilus, but I wouldn't be surprised for them to pair in a really strong support, for instance like Thresh, who still is available, or even Elise, because we have seen Nif playing Elise, and we have seen both these teams playing Elise today so far, to really combo that in and provide ganks.
So we are going to see a Varus Janna second and third pick here for Fnatic. Pretty much confirming that Nunu will be in the jungle, but we know that Soaz is not bad on Nunu in the lane either.
I'm looking at you like, come on Soaz, please play him in the top lane. That was against Wicked that one game. But yeah, I wouldn't really assume he'd be going there, especially with the jungle changes. Why not put him there where he's really strong? And we saw Arnair just like game previously, just phenomenal play out of him. Didn't do a lot of counter jungling, but the ganks were spot on. His ultimates and fights really separated evil geniuses, and I get to be able to have engage, but at the moment, the only real engage that SK has is that Nautilus, so it's a little bit tricky, but I guess they're prepping for something.
Which is also a fearsome champion when it comes to engage, let's be honest with that one. I mean, getting in there with the hook, getting that depth charge off, and Kennen picked in there as well, with that Janna already there, and we've seen time and time again that Janna does really well at stopping Kennen actually getting into those fights with his ultimate running.
I'm trying to think of a specific game that was in North America LCS the other day.
It was through the wall.
Yeah, knocked him through the wall back into his own race when he was on the blue side, and it just completely countered him. And that's exactly spot on, is what do you do with a Kennen if you can't get into the middle team and lock them down? And that's what he's going to do. What Kobe said in this, he's going to ride the wave off of Nami.
So with the last two picks coming in then for Fnatic, Lissandra, we saw Pharrell and Lord playing in that victory against Evil Geniuses early. Very, very strong champion, mobile, ability to lock down, high damage, just a brilliant champion overall. And then the Malphite as well.
Joe, I'm really scared for SK right now. Like, just in terms of the picks that Fnatic has. You saw Frontline, like you're saying with Lissandra, he would go sack game, just ridiculous. You're going to have such a hard time dealing with that, and it's really going to depend on how well Nif can play that Nami to really kind of reset the fights or maybe disengage them a little bit, but honestly, I'm loving Fnatic's lineup right now.
Well, let's see what SK finish off with, and it will be the Orianna. Of course, Orianna pretty much qualified SK Gaming for the spring split all the way back at Gamescom. We saw some amazing performances with Ocelot on that Orianna. So really interesting setups from both sides of the table.
Yeah, and the Orianna is going to provide a little bit of their engage. So if you can pair them all together, then knock them up with the Nami ultimate, or even throw it on Kennen if he's going to flash in, you can really provide the opportunity for you to land everything you need. But still, the real key member is N-rated. Like he's an amazing support. He's easily one of the best, if not the best, in Europe. And that Janna, haven't seen on him too much, but I guarantee his ultimates are going to be so spot on that SK, they're really going to have to work for their engages.
Current record is 18 for 0 for Fnatic in this one. Can SK break the curse?
You know, Joe, honestly, I really hope to see it. Actually, you know, I just hope we have a good game in general, but SK, they've been working so hard. They always have. But 0 to 18, that's not a score that they really enjoy having, so maybe we'll see them be able to turn that around here. Looking at early in this, I really have to say both teams will most likely play relatively safe, but if anyone's going to invade, it's going to be SK, because you have the ball to scout, you have the Nautilus dredge line if you want, you potentially can get out that Kennen stun if you obviously hit your shurikens or whatever you level up in time, and then the Nami, that Aqua Prison is going to be so crucial if they do want to go for an invade.
Well, let's see. Right now, SK on that top side. Actually, Yellow Star is in the brush there just below. Well, pretty much no way that he's going to get himself caught out from that one, but SK definitely working their way over towards that blue buff.
Spectators were just standing there like, yeah, go ahead, walk by. I'm not too worried, but it looks like they already get seeded, but in the meantime, SK actually just warding it up and backing out, and so as doing some good harass here. We might see a level 1 engage happen, and I honestly don't know which way it'll go. Or we'll see a pause. I think we're going to be
see, because the SK did ward in the brush there by that blue buff, so they're going to be able to keep a track of where Cyanide goes with that Nunu early on. And we've not really touched on Nunu really. I mean, we saw him in that last game, but he has obviously been changed so that he gets those bonuses now.
Maybe we'll see someone be able to do that himself.
So we are back into the game then, and let's see how this level 1 all kicks off. And there's quite a lot going down there on towards Nif. He's very, very low at this point. Cyanide suffering a similar fate. Hercubot gonna hook him in. He will have to flash away. Xpeke's low. Kevin's low. Everybody's low at this point. So as maybe the one to get caught out. And in the end, everyone loses half HP. Nobody dies.
They're like, yeah, that's a good warm-up. Then we'll just back out and go back to base. But we did see some summoners blown there, some key summoners. Soaz no longer has his Ignite. Cyanide no longer has Flash, which is going to be kind of key when he starts getting into some ganking. And N-rated doesn't have Exhaust. Over on the other side for SK, Hercubot used his Flash, and Nick used his Flash and Ignite. So obviously, I have to give it in favor of SK since Nami has the ability to escape extremely well. But you're seeing Candy Panda couldn't back and heal. You didn't see Hercubot go back and heal either, as well as Nif. So they're already hurting right off the bat, where over on Fnatic's side, they were able to do that. So that gives Fnatic an early advantage.
And the game somewhat normalizes here after that crazy start. Everyone at that half HP, as we said. And we're going to have some funky lanes going on in this one, though, so we should probably take a bit of a look at that. We can see that the AD carry's facing off in the middle lane right now. That's Yellow Star with Varus against Candy Panda. And there's Caitlyn. In the top lane, we've got Malphite versus Orianna. That's what we expected to see, but maybe in the middle lane, and then Botgar. But right now, SK are on the blue buff.
Yes, they are, and they don't know that it was actually warded, that entrance, and they're going to be backing out of it after taking the blue with the smite, and it looks like they're actually going to escape this, so very well done. Xpeke does get caught, though.
Dredge line coming out on towards Xpeke with 3 men there. You definitely can't afford to stand around, although Fnatic had managed to gather 4 men just to reply to that one there. Nothing coming of it, though, aside from the fact that Fnatic, of course, did manage to pick up that blue buff on the other side, as well as SK doing the same to them.
Yeah, so pretty much in the end, nothing really traded out there. Unfortunately for Fnatic, they weren't able to block her with this lineup of supports. Usually, with someone like Blitzcrank, you're able to roam around the mid lane and really start to pull jungle creeps away and really hurt the other jungler. But you have a Nunu, so he can do that himself, but AD carry supports in the mid lane. Candy Panda already down very low in health. So that kind of shows that Fnatic is winning out this trade.
And that's pretty ridiculous there. Candy Panda getting low time after time. I mean, still has barrier for those. And you see there, top lane, Peke got a big wave of minions here to be clearing out. But you know, this is always a fantastic duel to watch. The two Spaniards, Ocelot and next Peke going head to head.
Yeah, it is. And I was taking a look at Masteries and Runes real quick for Peke. He's not running any AP, obviously, but he's also not running a percent armor pen, or magic pen. He's running a flat armor pen and flat magic pen, so he's not really going to be building sort of thing, following up Soaz in these fights.
Yep, and there is Soaz in that bottom lane, currently pretty much bang on even with the cannon of Kevin, who will be coming back into lane with a double Doran's Blade. So wanting to get as much harass as he can out in those early stages.
And the big thing that gives you is it doesn't hurt you as much, but if you kill, you'll be very well set for the rest of the game. So Doran's Blade can provide a lot of harass to Soaz, who's that mid-range mage, that's hard to say, and really kind of benefit from it.
And the CS between the two AD carries right now is also bang on even, so not much to separate these two teams out as Yellowstar going to get caught in the bubble, and there goes the Howling Gale just to keep you safe. But what the chip that you can get off onto your opposition is going to help. Yeah,
it is, and they're both running like percent armor or percent lifesteal as well, so you're not really going to harass each other too much out of lane, especially since you have that Nami to heal you up. But Yellowstar is actually running 19 flat armor pen, so a little bit different for him, as most AD carries don't do that, but it's really going to work out well for him here because you know Kevin's going to go with Zhonya's. Ocelot might end up going something like that, so that's going to help out, and we're going to see as the game goes on.
Yeah, once again, bit of damage exchange, no real commitment from either side of things, but now we see Nunu headed down. I say headed down, he's more headed up and then back down, because of course he is in the enemy jungle right now. He's getting himself a nice warding position. So I'm doing a decent amount of damage here on towards Kevin as well, forcing him to burn through all of those health pots.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job down there, and I really want to see how that lane's going to develop because he's minutes in. I honestly couldn't pinpoint exactly where that first blood will end up coming, but I can say this though, I'm a little surprised that Candy Pen is actually even with Yellowstar in terms of CS. Caitlyn, you want to use that rain tier advantage as much as possible in the early game, but because he got harassed out so early on, back out with a
defensive start to this one. I mean, we said that a lot at the start of the spring split as well. You know, there's a lot on the line in the early stage. We know how important it is to get off to a good start, and well, it's Fnatic versus SK. There's more than just you're standing in the LCS up for here as well. It's all about pride between these two very long-standing esports organizations. And then down in the bottom lane, we are going to see Kevin using his ultimate there for just a little while onto Soaz. Did good damage, but not able to finish off and find the first blood.
I think Soaz was expecting some more damage than that on Kevin because he just saw him and was like, hey, I'm going to engage on you. Maybe just a measurement of seeing how much damage I can do to you, but Kevin completely turned that around. I don't have any guaranteed blue buffs, so he's kind of resorting to that, unless they want to steal it away from SK, but I don't really see that happening too much. And I love how you pointed out, like, it's the first week, and these teams who are in it from the spring season know that how important it is to win every game. Like, you can never relax or slack off in any of these weeks, and they're battling for pride.
Now, we did see XPK starting to gain a lead on his fall. In 7 players got the chalice, but you can see that Malphite with that crystalline flask wards in there, and the boots as well. Obviously, Ocelot not being home to spend just yet. Actually, I say that he's only sat on 570 gold, so that's just a bit of a lie from my side of things. Didn't quite pick up what we saw picked up from it. Peke's side of things, but other than that, now in his top side, a bit of an invade starting to come around. Cyanide doing what a Nunu can do really well here with that consume. He's clearing the jungle really fast. Candy Panda going to get caught, will use his barrier early on. Is he going to be able to escape this one? They turn it around onto Cyanide. Piltover Peacemaker comes out, and not a kill. Still, a 3-on-3 in the jungle. It stays level.
That was a great job by Nip to land that Aqua Prison just to stop that chase, and Candy Panda going to be thanking him for that one. And, you know, The top lane, there's something we haven't touched on, which is always important. When we saw earlier today, Charu, specifically from Meteor Makers on his Ahri, we have teleport on Malphite. And we've seen, obviously, in the last split, how important teleport can be. We've seen in this split so far how important it can be. And I want to know when he's going to use it, because we always look at it, Joe, as, you know, it's kind of a wasted summoner spell until you get to that late game, or if you use it really early and benefit from it. But we're going to see if he's going to use it anytime soon. Obviously, he can get down for a dragon if he needs to, if he can dodge Ocelot's ulti.
Well, right now we can see that SK is starting to move through towards that red buff once again. The wards are down. Kevin will be in there to back him up. Na'Vi going to be coming possibly down there as well, and this could get very dangerous very quickly for both sides if they're not careful. There's a lot of vision. There is the red actually going to be taken away in the end. And so as it's going to go in on towards Candy Panda, this could very well be first blood. Great 50 caliber net coming out, but Candy Panda is falling very low, finished off there, and it will be a possible second, a double kill. Double kill early on. We've got Kevin still on the bomb, but that dragon has been started.
Yes, it is. He does have ultimate available. Looks like he's just going to back off though and give it away.
Oh, top lane, Ocelot's going very low here to XPK as well, and that will be a kill. And the dragon,
yeah,
everything. What just happened there in that last 30-40 seconds? Everything just opening up for Fnatic.
And SK just got a 2k gold lead off of that. But approaching that point where they can start the team fight, we had expected actually 1v1 Ocelot, but he didn't have Ignite. And he still was able to 1v1 it, which to me is really surprising, but just shows that the skill level that these two players have.
And not to mention the fact that Soaz now is playing with a double buff, which is just going to make him all that more annoying and dangerous to Kevin down in this bottom lane. We'll see what comes back. God, well, double kill with the first blood and the dragon is just a lot of gold to work with. And I'm sure that Kevin's going to have to be a little bit careful with how that one all breaks down on his side. Meanwhile, Malphite, of course, the XPK did get that. He said has that big gold CS lead that he had before. Now up to almost 30 CS.
And he also has a haunting guys now on top of that, so if he wasn't doing enough damage already to Ocelot, he's going to be fine even more. At the bottom, we see Soaz get engaged with
comes kill and picks up that double buff, and that just shows you that Soaz is feeling confident, thinking that Kevin might not go into him, but with the help of Hercubot, they can make it work.
Yeah, we talked about Hercubot being so impactful, and with this Nautilus, he's been able to do it right there. The double buff, like you mentioned, is such a key thing to have, because Kevin, who already built 2 Doran's it's going to be able to harass them even more with the red on top of that, and it looks like SK's not done. They're going to be pushing the bottom turret as time, so
there is that bottom outer turret being taken pretty low. Not sure if it'll be actually taken down as a whole. There is Candy Panda and Yellow Star again, exchange some damage. Nif, he's going to be knocked up in the middle lane. But, you know, that turret down in bottom, also very important for SK.
It really will be, because it gives Kevin that ability to really roam around if he wants to be free, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for Fnatic, where he's going to be able to gank the top lane or mid lane potentially, and really start to snowball, you know, Candy Panda, who unfortunately isn't as far ahead as he'd like to be, and then all that has been, so he really needs to get something going.
Right now, Nif just putting a couple of pink wards around that middle lane as Candy Panda was just pushing things through. Cyanide having to come over to cover. I mean, that is a dangerous lane. That Caitlyn, just the range alone is going to be something that they have to watch out for there. But look at this, Soaz starting to wander up towards that middle lane, but if I want to see
Finn, so we're going to back away just like you said, and maybe not concede anything here. Actually, it looks like they might concede, but we're going to see Fnatic go in here.
They are going to go in for this one. Soaz right in on top. It's Candy Panda that's the target. Nif going low. There is the absolute zero, and it's the double kill with Cyanide from it as well. Finishes off perfectly, but he might now be in trouble himself because he has to use that flash away. Fnatic coming around. as a 4, and that will be those 2 kills secured and safe. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Xpeke has got one over on his Spidey's friend.
Fnatic right there, reducing engage halfway in the middle, but Kevin is ultimate just going to catch Yellow Star.
Yeah, Yellow Star is the one in trouble. He will flash away at the same time. Hercubot now turned around and onto Soaz, and now Kevin in all kinds of trouble, gets 1 kill, but he will die at the end. Cyanide will pick up another one, plus the double buffs again. How long have those double buffs been in play?
Too long. I mean, we might see a buff on every single member of every team right now if we keep going at this rate. But Fnatic, they're really in the driver's seat. They have a nice goal lead, they have a nice kill lead, and you just see the strength of Lissandra right there. Went straight into Candy Panda, locked him down, and the team just collapsed on him and killed him.
Right now, SK just going to try and push this middle lane out here, possibly, knowing that Fnatic have all backed away, and they want a first turret. They want something to bring this gold total back right now. I mean, if we look down on the CS, Xpeke versus Oslo, it's not even a contest there, especially when you add those kills. To be, doesn't go too far away.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about SK's lineup is it's always going to be good just because of the champions they have. I mean, Nif, if he can land a perfect wave into a Kevin, surfing it the entire way into Fnatic's team, like, they still have a really strong composition. Yeah, they're behind right now, but SK, they've come back from bigger deficits than this, and I really don't think they're out just...
We have by this kind of margin and end up losing it
especially
as well,
against Fnatic too.
Especially against Fnatic. Ocelot is not shy of saying they seem to have a bit of a curse when it comes to playing Fnatic as Candy Panda going very aggressive here on towards Yellow Star. Yellow Star turning around. There comes the ace in the hole. Nothing. Absolute Zero coming in. It will be cancelled out by Nif. The dredge line doesn't quite land from Hercubot, but in the top lane, Ocelot again. What is happening here? Xpeke just trolling him right now. Finishes off another kill. That is 3 out of 3. The shock wave did nothing to stop that happening.
It's like they... Well, he used it earlier, but the thing was, Xpeke is so sticky. Like, just with the seismic shards, able to keep up with him and took Queki the whole composition, and yet they've been left on their own island just to kill each other. Well, at least one killed the other.
Now we've seen the Bloodthirster picked up by the best support that Fnatic have ever had, Yellow Star 05. But there are wards on top of his position, and Hercubot's going to go in there. Cyanide got that red buff anyway, and he's just going to walk himself out. Possibly here. Hercubot also not the easiest one to get away from. There's a tidal wave, there's the depth charge, but Peke comes in from the side. He's going to slow things down. Kevin trying to get through onto him. Peke will head south now. He gets bubbled up, and he's going to be the one to fall after all that. And Cyanide will say, thanks mate, that is very good teamwork from you, but sorry that you died.
Yeah, I was looking at like their kills right now. They both had 3, so in the end, one member of SK was going to get the killing spree bonus off of that, but still, look how much SK committed to that. It's time they might be able to respond with the top turret themselves.
Yeah, we'll see there are 2 men up there, Hercubot and Kevin. The bottom lane is still being pushed by Fnatic, and actually they're going to go in on towards Ocelot once again. He's not worth too much at this point. Soaz, on the other hand, maybe worth a little bit more, but honestly, they're coming around. In the top lane, there's a big fight going on. Kevin going very low. Absolute Zero is going to get him a kill again. And now they're on towards Hercubot. And Rayton knocked him back with the use of that Monsoon, and Northland's not getting away. Peke picks up another one.
If I'm not mistaken, N-Rated ulted him into the ultimate of Cyanide, and actually just Morculus, and I mentioned earlier, N-Rated, we haven't seen him on Janna too much, but he's an amazing Janna. Like, any support he'll play, he's always fantastic at, and Fnatic now up 11-3 at this point. It's really coming to that point where SK, like, they have to figure out how are they going to get back, and honestly, Dragon might be that point, since they have an Oracle on Nif. The problem is, they can't 5-on-5 fight anymore. That's the problem they're running into.
So right now Fnatic going to get a ward down on top of Dragon. There is Nif there with that Oracle. He's really get down there and do anything about this one. He may just have a bit of sight there from that one ward off of the side, but well, vision's all well and good, but if you can't do anything about it, it's just a bit more of a tease. As you see it go down. At least they'll have the timer on it.
At least they'll have the timer. So, that's going to hurt them quite a bit. And their whole composition, like we know Kate's going on, especially with the Nami, the speed increase. She shouldn't really be hit too much in these fights. Should be able to dodge most of the ultimates. And SK, they just kind of need to hold on. Kevin needs to build. Looks like he's going for an Abyssal right now. He's unfortunately not able to get his Zonias, so he's kind of behind in terms of his build, but the ultimate
almost up towards that Sunfire Cape now as well, which just makes him so much more beefy. 4-1-1 currently is XPK. 3 of those kills have come from, I say simple 1v1s, it's never simple, but he's made it look that way on towards Ocelot, who's honestly not quite had the performance that it was said on the analyst desk. He's probably going to have to be the man to step things up here as as we're talking about it. Ocelot again, he's going to be beaten down, has to flash away. XPK's got a flash of his own, and that will be kill number 4. Not quite. Can he get the finisher? No. Ocelot walks away, and now XPK has to run himself away from that one. Soa's starting to come in there. Nif is up in the top lane as well. But XPK has continued to turn this one around because Nunu's there. Now bubble down, but XPK picks up that one. Here comes Soaz from the side. Hercule has to flash away, and that was just a big mess coming out for SK in the end.
It was a great job by Nif to save Ocelot right there, but in the end, he probably should have let Ocelot die. Because of that, he lost his Oracle. And honestly, at this point in the game, when you have...
I think Nif was actually...
They already lost their middle, bottom, and top tier 1 turret. They need the vision that they, in their own jungle to really control it to kind of maybe get a sneaky kill on a Fnatic. But look at the ward coverage right now on the mini-map for Fnatic. They have vision wards, they have sight wards down everywhere on the top side of the jungle. And SK, they can't afford another Oracle to clear that out.
Right now, Kevin is actually moving in from the bottom side. He was spotted and nicely dealt with there with the hail of arrows from Yellow Star. Gets off 5th. Didn't work out for them. Cyanide right now was going to be warding up with the pink there on the Baron and actually get built over. Piece when it comes in, few auto attacks. Cyanide right now with that Aegis really. He just does not care. Of course, the spirit of the ancient golem giving him health. Kinds of trouble. Unstoppable force was used as well. Uses his ultimate, but Soaz picks up another one, and that will be a 4-1-3 Alessandra with a 4-0-5 Nuno, a 5-1-12 Malphite.
It's funny.
5-1-2, not 12.
The champions have changed for Fnatic, but it's still like the trilogy or the series of killing Kevin over and over. They just grouped up on him with the Malphite ultimate, with the Lissandra ultimate, and just blew him away. It looks like they're going to go in for Ocelot still.
Yeah, Soaz has not finished here, and he is going to go in on towards Ocelot. There's the shockwave, which pulls Peke actually closer in. Obviously doesn't have that unstoppable force. The turret, though, will go down. Yellow Star actually having to use his flash there to get away in the middle, but again, Fnatic able to get in and put down the damage, picking up objectives along the way.
SK, they have a lot of work cut out for them to get back in this game, down almost 10,000 gold at this point. They haven't been able to get one dragon yet. Baron has not been taken as of yet either, but Candy Panda, 185 CS. He's ahead of Yellow Star right now, though he only has 5 assists less, but he has the Infinity Edge done. So he'll at least be doing a little bit of damage, and Ocelot, he's kind of fallen back into more of a support Orianna role right now in terms of him not having much damage. Kevin actually picked up an AC large rod, so he's trying to go for a Zonia's and an Abyssal Scepter at the same time kind of thing, which it might come out to actually work for them quite well. But then Fnatic, I mean, they're almost a full item ahead of every single member currently, and even Rated, who feels very confident with where he is, has double GP10, which you never see anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point about things as well. I mean, he's got those 8 assists on him right now. Everything, to be honest, is going right for them. He's a good 2,000 gold ahead of his counterpart Nami right now.
And actually in North America, we see more Janna's build actually a little bit of AP on top of that. So your shield obviously does a little bit more, your Monsoon helps out a little bit more. So he might build that into a Twin Shadows, just to get a little bit of extra slow. But in the meantime, Fnatic's pushing this middle turret. SK, they try to defend them away from it. Just the presence stopped it, but I don't know how long that's going to work, because right now, XPK is waiting on the sidelines to go in.
Yep, they are waiting there. And look at the pink wards that are down as well from Fnatic. Complete control of that top side of the jungle. And, well, the Baron really is what they've got control of there. And that's certainly something that SK at this point can't afford to let go. And I also don't think something that Fnatic would be particularly interested in at this point. They are that far ahead. Almost 11,000 gold after almost 24 minutes.
And I refer back to something that Dyrus actually said from TSM, that Baron, it's kind of like a noob magnet. Like when you're this far ahead and you're this experienced as a team, there's no reason to be going for that. You know how to close out games and you just have to execute that. And right now, SK still with Xpeke on the side. It's like a ticking time bomb here, and it looks like Fnac's going to engage.
They're going to go in there. Soa's actually getting right in on Lock. They've been actually getting in decently amongst them. The tidal wave will come through as well, but there's just too much damage. That's a good shockwave coming out from Ocelot, but will they be able to finish off? Right now, it's 2 for 1 in favor of SK, and they're going to keep chasing here, although Xpeke full HP, it's going to take a long time to actually get him down. There's a good Howling Gale. PK safe.
So that is what SK needed to get back in the game. Kevin with the prayer going into the team of Fnatic and just locking them down while they try to deal with everyone else. A 1-for-2 trade that, you know, SK, they honestly needed at this point, just being down this far currently. They do get a pull on a Janna here.
Yeah, he actually went through there as the ace in the hole from Candy Panda. Gonna tie it up, and that was a bit of a strange one, actually getting through with the Howling Gale as well. And that dredge line working out for him. And that pulls them to number 3 in this game, and you know, it's never over.
It's never.
League of Legends is never, games are never over, however far behind you are. Although at this level, you have to say it's less likely for the teams to make a major mistake.
Yeah, very true. But you know, you might even say that fight might have been a little bit of a mistake on Fnac's side, just because they kind of lost it. Now SK, and like for the entirety of the fight, he almost soloed Ocelot 1v1, and now, obviously, he was doing it earlier. He needs to not be able to do that. Ocelot needs a little bit more damage, but still, the title Kevin, they're probably just to fight and not lose as many people.
And we'll see Cyanide who got those boots of mobility on him now as well, just to make him even more annoying. I mean, you just don't get away from a
and has home guards.
Yeah, and has home guards as well. From a Nunu Malphite combo. So all money all over the place with these double GP10. He's now 3,000 gold almost in the lead over his opposite number Nick.
And you're seeing the reflection of that just in the amount of wards we've been noticing now throughout the jungle of SK. And it Hercubot face check.
Oh, Hercubot is going to face check in there. Can they actually peel him off here? I mean, we've got the ball on him, and that's already a big deterrent for Fnatic. They know that big tanky Nautilus in the middle of them, a shockwave can really bring them all down very quickly, as we saw in that last fight. But Fnatic are going to once again back away towards the Baron pit. The question is, are they going to actually start it off? Well, unwillingly they have, as we are going to see them pushing in for this one. Nif absolutely destroyed in that one. They're going to keep going through. There is the shockwave though. Points on 3 of them. Kevin going to dive on top of them. He goes down. That kill. They're still chasing Candy Panda. Hercubot and him though will get away from that. And that was a 3 for 1 here for Fnatic.
Yeah, with Fnatic, just the vision control they have, even with the Oracle and N-rated, they denied all vision to SK, and they had to check it. We even see getting Candy Panda kind of get and chase down as you check out on your screen from Xpeke, which, as you can tell, Candy Panda is not really going to win that trade, but Fnatic, they're kind of baiting SK into some...
Was actually going in. They've managed to catch Hercubot, but will they be able to finish him off? That Howling Gale will certainly help. Slow after slow coming in by Fnatic. In the end, though, Hercubot will walk away from that. Didn't attempt the Baron. Probably a wise choice in hindsight from Fnatic.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. They're only getting stronger at this point, and if it has a full one leg, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do want to go for that. But as you are seeing right now, Xpeke taking away the blue buff from SK, and we mentioned earlier, in the alternate UG game, where if you can keep taking away the blue buff from the enemy, you really hurt them, especially in Anivia, and especially in Orianna, who doesn't have that 40% CDR, which Ocelot is going to be hurting for now. In these fights.
Yeah, I mean, the Athene's going to be helping him out a little bit with that one, but Honestly,
Not enough.
Not enough. And not too far away, but Infinity Edge compared to a Bloodthirster, then you've got Zeal for both. Last Whisper is already done over for Yellow Star as well, and he's got 900 gold to spend. Right now, 1,000 gold on Caitlyn to spend, which we will see spent up there with that pickaxe from Double A. Overall, the problem that I think SK are going to have here with Candy Panda is that if Peke gets on top of them, number one, your attack speed's gone. And number two, even if you do attack him, he's got almost 400 armor.
Yeah, so the last Whisper, you mentioned it on Yellow Star. Candy Panda needs to get one. And the funny thing is, Yellow Star has one when the other team doesn't have that much armor currently. Like, you have Azonia's on Kevin, so pretty much Yellow Star can sit back and attack whoever he wants to. If Hercubot gets in his face, he's not going to be worried about it. He'll be able to take him 1v1. We do see an Oracle picked up on Nip right now, and Raiden still has one as well, so they're trying to kind of catch each other out here, and you might see a fight break out.
There's a Howling Gale going over there. It looks like they want to go for Hercubot, who is going to be the big tank if they can get him down. Surely SK don't have a chance of standing around in this one. Soaz will finish that one off, and there is Nautilus gone. And not only that, with Baron available, there's no smite.
Yeah, that is very true. And just go back real quick to that fight. We saw Ocelot. We talked about blue buff and the cooldown reduction. The Command Protect was on its way to Hercubot. It would have saved him, but he didn't have blue buff. He didn't have that cooldown reduction. And with that last fight, Fnatic will be going for Baron here. And honestly, it's not going to last too long. It looks like SK is just going to give it away and try to push a lane or two. Or actually, it's going to seem like they're 100% sure that Fnatic is going for it.
Well, it doesn't really matter. They've got a new jungle who's got Consume and Smite. That is a lot of damage to come out very quickly. You shouldn't be missing anything with that. And well, if overall one, I think is the overview for SK Gaming right now. 19-6 behind in kills, 5-3 in turrets, 52,000 to 37,000 only gold. We've got the Baron buff now on Fnatic, and the only thing that SK can really do is look to farm up here as much as they possibly can.
And the thing is, we always look at composition, how they're going to do the Nami Kennen combo, but I don't really think that's going to fully catch Fnatic off guard. So they're going to be able to siege these turrets down, and SK, they don't have that much great wave clear. It's all up to Ocelot, who doesn't have the blue buff, the regen, the cooldown reduction. So SK, they're going to have a really tough time defending against this, but Nif, we've seen him land perfect Aqua Prisms before on the Soaz. If he can do it again, they could potentially go for a kill on him, or at least keep him out of the fight.
Soaz getting in there as well, and he's left with almost nothing just after that little spate of attacks. Right now, Peke waiting over the side of the wall, and well, between him and Soaz, they can cause pretty much death for everyone that lands, that's landed onto in their path. It's going down, but keep going on to things. Candy Panda down to half HP in the end, but Fnatic decided, no, we're not going to go just yet, but they know that shockwave's not there. They know that there's a lot down in terms of ultimates from Hercubot as well, which can be a big one. There is chance that they could go here in the next couple of waves.
Yes, very true. And I love how I talked about how SK has no real way to lock down Yellow Star. Right there, left back. We have XPK engaging.
And they're all dead. At least two of them are for now. Fnatic in there. Kevin's going to try his best and he gets in with his ultimate. Uses Azonia's, but the damage is just not there for him. And they're going to kite him around. Double kill coming out for Soaz. And there is XPK on the fountain. Is now unstoppable. He's got the turrets hammering away at him. He wants a little bit more of a piece of Hercubot, while the rest of the team,
they're on the, and it looks like Fnatic will close this game out.
Yeah, they certainly will, I think, at this point. 20 seconds pretty much until the team comes up. Fnatic going to finish off the turrets. The Nexus is going to fall, and they make their record 19-0 against
for SK. They're 0-2 now, losing to Meteor Makers and now Fnatic. And Joe, maybe it's lucky number 20. Maybe that's the one they'll come back and win. But you still have to give SK credit. Like after the first loss they had, we know they're a very heavy momentum team. They still came into this this one and played really well. But the unfortunate part was that Ocelot just kind of got shut down and they didn't really rescue him.
Yeah, it wasn't to get him out, including the themes, Avoid Staff, and the Sorcerer Shoes, which, you know, 3 decent items, but you probably needed them about 20 minutes ago in the game. So, you know, fantastic performance from Fnatic. Let's not focus on the negatives here. They came out flying against SK.